The PKK spent its formative years warring with other groups that challenged it for influence among the Kurds in Turkey and has proven ruthless in eliminating political opposition. Similarly, since capturing territory in Syria, the YPG has worked to monopolize power, establishing a one-party system that has suppressed Kurdish opponents as well as leaders and activists from other communities. The YPG has arrested hundreds of political prisoners. One prominent case is that of Boz Dorsan, a senior official of a rival Syrian Kurdish political party, who has been missing since 2012. About 150 people were abducted by the YPG in 2013 alone, according to records kept by independent Kurdish activists. As Human Rights Watch reported in 2014, there have been numerous cases of maltreatment in prisons in Rojava, as the YPG calls the territory it holds. One Kurdish dissident, Kawa Khaled Hussein, was tortured and killed while in the militia's custody. The YPG has also engaged in targeted assassinations against Kurdish oppositionists such as Nasreddin Berhek, another senior official in Mr. Dorsan's party. The YPG has exiled other perceived adversaries. In August, the head of the main umbrella Kurdish opposition group, Ibrahim Bayro, was expelled from Rojava by the YPG and threatened with death should he return. Earlier this year, the crackdown on dissent escalated. Nearly 50 opposition offices have been destroyed and around the same number of rivals arrested. Even an independent gathering on International Women's Day was violently dispersed by YPG security forces, in stark contradiction to one of the most prominent themes in YPG propaganda, namely its championing of women's rights. Fadhil Daoud, a law professor at a university in a YPG-held area of northeastern Syria, told me he wanted the students to all be equals in front of the law, but when he expelled the relative of a YPG commander from an exam for cheating, he was beaten up. Mr. Daoud fled Rojava and cannot return because he is wanted by the security services. The YPG claims that they protect Kurds and all the people in the region, but it's not the truth, he said. They take money and they do whatever they want. The YPG's authoritarian conduct has incited resistance, thanks in particular to its imposition of conscription, taxation and an ideological curriculum. The YPG has struggled to secure its legitimacy because it refuses to include other Kurdish voices and remains fundamentally focused on Turkey, seeing Syria merely as a springboard for supporting the PKK's insurgency against Turkey's government. This threatening posture has led to a blockade against them and considerable hardship for Syrian Kurds. American support has reinforced these dynamics by empowering the PKK's military commanders and making local civilian administrators in Rojava beholden to them. Until now, the United States formally supported the Syrian Democratic Forces, or SDF, ostensibly a coalition of the YPG and Arab tribal militias. The Arab SDF units are subordinate to YPG units and their PKK-aligned commanders and are used mainly to administer Arab-majority areas liberated by the American-led campaign against the Islamic State. Directly arming the YPG with heavy weapons abandons the SDF fig leaf. Despite assurances that this is merely short-term and tactical, it will boost the group beyond the fight for Raqqa. Those weapons are not recoverable, and with this backing the United States has taken a step toward a de facto recognition of the PKK's legitimacy. This is what has agitated the Turkish government, which sees a security threat in a potential PKK-dominated statelet on its southern border. The menace of foreign attacks orchestrated by the Islamic State from its base in Raqqa underscores the need to quell the terrorist group. But the American policy toward the YPG, with its attendant damage to relations with Turkey, which is an important NATO partner in a strategically sensitive location, makes sense only if destroying the Islamic State hastily is Washington's paramount concern. It will not help to make that outcome permanent. More important even than increasing tension with Turkey are the effects on the ground in Syria. Unfortunately, the American-led coalition has tended to play into the Islamic State's hands by displacing the jihadist group with forces viewed by local Sunni Arab populations as alien and sectarian. An American-backed YPG takeover of Raqqa will likely repeat this error, creating anew the conditions that led to the rise of the Islamic State. Continue reading the main story.